Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and finally, after like 1.5 weeks, I have finally finished Cobra Kai Season 4. Sorry it took a while, but still, I was watching it with my sisters. They aren't always ready to watch it, and it takes a while, but I finished it, so this is going to be my spoiler review for Cobra Kai Season 4. This is Max Reviews, I'm Brayden, and let's just get into my spoiler review for this, for the whole thing. This is going to be full of spoilers. Let's just get talking about it, and to get straight to the point, I absolutely love this season. I feel like it went and took all the strands from all the 3 other seasons and just bound them together into one amazing season. Like, at the end of Cobra Kai Season 1, you have Crease, and we see where that goes and stuff, and at the end of Season 2, you have the school fight, and Miguel gets hurt, and then you have Aisha and Stingray leave. They return for this season, which is so great. Season 3, it continues off of that very nicely because Season 3 came out January 1st, 2021, and Season 4 came out December 31st, 2021. So they both came at the beginning and the end of the year, so we got this great strand of Cobra Kai coming out. And so I'm going to be talking about a lot of Cobra Kai this week, the rankings and stuff. But right now, just spoiler review to get into it. Where we start off with Daniel and Johnny teaming up is just such a great point, because this is what the seasons have been building to. They've had tensions, and they have had their fights between each other, their agreements. And in every season, there's this one episode or for like half of it, it seems like everything's going to be perfect. And then it all falls down. But, man, this season, wow. Gotta say. So, there's so much in this that I'm going to take it character by character. Because if you think about it, there are so many characters in this show. So I'm going to talk about each character right here. So we're going to just start off immediately with Johnny. So Johnny, he's been the main character of the show since episode 1. Day 1, he's been a main character. And now we see him partnering with LaRusso, which is, they've been button heads for 40 years now. So they decide to team up, and when they team up, they have this friction still. They can't agree. They have 2 extremely different fighting styles. And what that leads to is them dividing once again. And they divide, and it doesn't work out so well, so they swap students and see how that works. And so you have this very interesting dynamic between Sam, Miguel, Johnny, and Daniel, because Samantha, she's getting a bit more aggressive. She's letting her anger out. She's always been the girl that's been sort of hiding, and you see that in Season 3, she's hiding from Tori. And Miguel, he's been pretty aggressive. He's getting more soft. He's figuring out how to actually defense from Mr. LaRusso and go into the depth of Miyagi-Do. And so you have this very interesting dynamic where Johnny is Samantha's sensei, and Daniel is Miguel's sensei, which is a very interesting dynamic between all this. And usually it's always been Daniel versus Johnny, but now it's Daniel and Johnny versus Crease and Terry Silver. So Johnny in this, he goes around, he's trying to just figure out how to take care of this with Miguel, with Miguel's mom, and with Robbie, and also with Crease still being here. He's trying to figure it all out. And Johnny in this season, I think, is just good as ever. His fun stuff, like when he goes against LaRusso, that was just one of the funnest episodes. He's playing Rocky music and just going to the sites that are in Rocky movies and just doing wrestling and all that. And Johnny and Daniel training each other. I think we should go into Daniel too here for both of them. And you have Daniel trying to figure out his son and his daughter and Miguel. And the dealership isn't really explored in this season that much, which I think is a good thing, the car dealership, because we're focusing on the characters. And so you have Daniel versus Johnny, and then they teach each other, and then they both fight each other. Then they divide once again, where you have Eagle Fang and you have Miyagi-Do, and they're not joined together. And so when they all get with their students to the end, to the final 2 episodes, when they fight against Cobra Kai. They're trying different fighting styles. Miguel's sort of going on defense a bit more, and Sam's going on offense, which is very interesting. And then we end, and you have that very crucial moment in the story where Johnny tells Miguel, "Thank you, Robbie." And that just shows Miguel, and that puts Miguel down this path where he doesn't compete in the competition, in the karate tournament. And so that just leads to all this stuff, and it's because Miguel is like Johnny's second chance. And so we end with Johnny going to find Miguel, which is going to be very interesting in Season 5 coming out this year, I think. And then you have Daniel working with Chosen at the end, which I think is a very interesting thing. I didn't see that coming. And other characters that we should dive into here is Terry Silver and John Crease. Now, Terry Silver, I think, was handled pretty nicely in this. We're going against weakness and how he has created this prison for himself with the characters. No, not with characters, but with his wealth. He's making a prison around him where he's no longer himself. And so he gets back into being karate and being a sensei. And he wants to go all out crazy, beating the crap out of Johnny. But Crease notices what's happening, and he's noticing that this is what he did and what he has done to his student. And so you see John Crease, I think he gets a bit more of character. He's smart, but he also has weakness in this. And Terry, after seeing what we saw in Season 3 with him and Terry and Crease saving Terry, you see in the final episode where they have the weakness that Terry's talking about. And that weakness is John Crease to him. So he gets rid of John Crease. He frames it with Stingray, which is very interesting. I didn't see that coming. And so this means that Terry Silver's in charge and John Crease is in prison. Does this mean that they'll be all teaming up? It's very interesting. And so John Crease, I think, was expanded upon and got a lot better. And Terry Silver, what an interesting performance, because he could be weak and he could be strong, and he is shedding his weakness at the end of the season by getting rid of John Crease. And he's still going into the crazy. And so that was very interesting for him. And then also our returning characters, we got to see one little cameo by Aisha. I thought that was cool because we needed to see her again. She just sort of out of blue left in Season 3. And it was because because of the school fight, and she's like, "No, we had a job," or something. And so it was just sort of frustrating to see Sam so brutally go against Aisha and decide to fight Tori instead of just make friends with her, sort of a thing. And so I thought it was cool to see Aisha. I thought that was nice. It was just like a yes. And then Stingray. I think Stingray got expanded upon way more in this show, Season 2, because he's returning from Season 2. And just when you show up, when you see the guy in the slippers, you're like, I know this is. And you had the beginning and the end of the episode with him. Stingray was such a fun character in Season 2, but now he was more of like a wild card, just spice on top of everything. Now he's becoming an actual character, and he's considering things, and his friends, and all that. And they made him a lot better in this season. And he's not just the comedic person. He could also be, he gets beat up by Terry Silver, and he's the one that puts John Crease in prison since Terry Silver tells him to frame him. And so Stingray was very interesting in this. He didn't get to fight that much except for his neighbor, but it was nice to see him again. And then the two most improved characters, in my opinion, are Tori and Robbie. Now, I think Robbie was improved a bit more, but for Robbie in Season 1 and 2, he was... Season 1, I did not like Robbie. He was just like, it didn't make sense, no. And then Season 2, they expanded upon him, and he got very interesting. He became an actual character sort of thing. And then by the end of Season 3, he turns back into just like, I don't care. And then in this season, you understand why he went to sort of Crease. He doesn't want any of the styles. And he's trying to mentor this new kid that's coming in because he's being bullied. And so Robbie is trying to figure all this out. And he's also has his dad, and he says, I don't want to fight you, Dad, sort of a thing. And so that's very interesting, all the stuff with Robbie. And then also with Tori, she's been supporting her family for seasons. And season 2 and 3, I think she was just a mad psychopath. That's how they portrayed her. But in this season, they gave her depth and why she's doing it. And it's just very interesting how they're doing that. And so that was just very, very interesting right there. And then there's some other characters. I'm trying to figure it out. But there was the new kid. I can't remember his name. Yeah, so I can't remember the new kid's name, but he showed up, and it was just nice to see this sort of new character who, Kenny, yes, that's his name, Kenny, seeing Kenny in this, which is a sort of new character that he seems very similar to, Robbie, how he was going, and he's a sweet kid, and then you see him go to Cobra Kai path, and he just turns into another Robbie, and Robbie sees what has happened to this, and it's very interesting right there. And Tori, I think Tori was really expanded upon, and you see that she didn't actually win. She was paid off, and that is very interesting. Other things, Sam, it was sort of frustrating to see her go down the path where she's just going against Tori, but still, she's going on defense on offense after all these seasons of her just being the kid in the back that's been shivering and scared. She's standing up for herself. Miguel in this, very interesting. And then also Anthony LaRusso, seeing him. Anthony, they added him. He's a better character now, but still, he doesn't learn karate or do anything. He sort of grows up a bit, which, could he learn karate and do stuff? Yes. Would that be interesting? Maybe. But in this, I think it was interesting, but I don't really know where that's going 100%. And I thought it was okay, because he's a way better character than just the bratty kid that he was before. But other than the whole thing with Kenny, and now Kenny's sort of learned Cobra Kai, what is Anthony going to do? And let me think, is there Hawk in this? I think Hawk and Dimitri are like the few other characters to talk about in this. Oh, and also the bully guy. I forgot about the bully guy. The bully guy, I don't think they did much. I even forgot his name. But Eli and Dimitri. Now, Dimitri in this, I don't think they did anything with Dimitri. He's still getting, I think her name is Yasmin. He's sort of standing up for himself. But other than what he got in season 2 and 3, he hasn't really done a whole bunch. Hawk, on the other hand. Eli, Hawk, it was so amazing to see him. He's going up my list for favorite characters, because in season 1 and 2, he was such a very interesting and amazing character, because in season 1, he starts out as this kid who he's being bullied because of his lip, and he's getting, just his mom is telling the principal and stuff to send out a message with this, and he's being embarrassed and stuff and made fun of. And then he gets his haircut, he finds his confidence, and he is Hawk. And he is so awesome and kicking butt and just doing all this stuff. And then in season 2, he also is like that, and you see a bit more of his backstory with what's happening. And then season 3, he sort of went to the Cobra Kai path, and that's sort of when he just went off. But he did get his redemption in the final episode, which I thought was much needed. And he got his redemption, which that was great. He finally got his redemption. And now in this season, it seems like he's going to be repeating the whole thing. He's getting this purple hair. He had his blue hair. Now he's getting red hair. Now next is going to be purple hair. Well, was it red and then blue? I don't know. But I think it was blue hair and then red hair. And now he's getting his purple hair. And then it gets cut off by Robbie. And he loses his confidence. And he goes back to being the kid that he was before. And he doesn't need the haircut to define him. And he grows. And he wins the whole thing. As he said in the episode, he wins the All Valley Boys Championship. And he wins it. And that is just so satisfying to see this character grow. And I feel like after the championship, we see him like, he won. And then that's it. We don't see him after that, which is sort of frustrating. But still, season 5, we got more potential. Just what an incredible season of television. What an incredible show. all these characters and they bind them all together into one narrative where you have Cobra Kai win. And they were paid off, and Cobra Kai does win, but still they seem to be sort of ignoring that. And I'm interested in seeing where Season 5 goes. My biggest thing that I was thinking about in this season was how are they going to set up Season 5. This seems like it should be the end, but they set it up so perfectly, and the last episode is probably the best Cobra Kai episode in the season. And so let me just say, this show was amazing. Let me just say, it just blew my mind in so many levels. The twists, the fun, the characters, and that they did all this and pulled it together. So amazing. Cannot wait for Season 5. Not as much as anticipation as Season 4, but still, Season 5, yikes. Cobra Kai is still going on, going strong. I am loving this show. And if I had to say, like, Season 1, Season 2, top tier. High as you could get. Season 3, a bit of a drop in quality. Season 4, back to the top. And I hope Netflix keeps doing this. Such an amazing show. Thank you so much for listening to me praise this show. This is just an amazing show. And just come back. I don't know when I'm going to be doing it, but sometime in the next few days, I'm going to be ranking all the Cobra Kai seasons, the characters, and then I'm going to be ranking all, I don't know, it's in the 20s. Let me check here. But I am going to be ranking all the shows that I've seen this year, which is quite a bit. We got quite a bit with Disney Plus, Marvel shows. We got a few Star Wars shows. I'm not going to be including Book of Boba Fett because, that just the first episode came out. So, but anyway, I'm going to be ranking all, how many is it? 29 shows that I saw, 2021. So come back in a few days for that. Come back for my for my seasons ranking, and then also my character ranking. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brayden. This is Max Reviews. Brayden out.